Hi, I am Gunther Graf, student number 215025434, and this is my submission for the Music Machine for 2017. Before we go into the technical details, let me show you how it works. As you can see, there are two rows. One's for the instruments, one for the tunes, the drum, buzzer, LEDs, and the bottom row is tune 1, 2 and 3. I will now play one of the drum tunes. Okay, the next instrument is the buzzer, and we'll play one of those tunes. And the final one are the LEDs, which are situated over there. Play one of those. As you can see, the record starts turning and the arm moves across the record. These are the project requirements. First of all, it had to be standalone. It had to have no Arduino functions in its code. This will be discussed later. It had to have a keyboard with selectable modes. It had to have 3 modules consisting of a drum, some LEDs, a buzzer, and an Arduino Mega. And finally, the costs had to be under $100. The project ended up being $97. Looking at the circuit diagram shows that a selection from the keyboard, for example the drums, will activate the servo motors connected to the drummer's arms. In the same way, a selection from a buzzer will play the buzzer tune. This is true for the LEDs as well. These will also activate the little servo and motor at the top of the machine to turn the record. This leaves us with the interrupts, the first one being the external interrupt and the next one being the analog to digital converter, which looks at the battery voltage of the 6-volt pack. This is what is inside the box. An Arduino Mega, a 6-volt motor, a small servo, 10-segment LED display, batteries. There are 2 interrupts included in the circuit. One is an external interrupt and the other one is an analog to digital conversion interrupt. The first one makes sure that the lid's closed and the other one measures the voltage from the batteries. A quick run through the program reveals the following. It starts with the definitions, followed by arrays which will be used in the buzzer, the drums, as well as the LED tunes. It's followed by a set of integers. This sets us up into the setup section. The first one being the setup for the external interrupt, for the buzzer tunes, the servo motors, the record player, and the last interrupt, which is a background timer. The next section runs through a loop which will decide which buttons were pressed on the keyboard, as you can see over here, case 1, 2, 3, etc, etc. Carrying on through there, depending on which keys press, it'll go to a certain section of the program. For example, buzzer 1, buzzer 2, buzzer 3, etc, etc, the drums, LEDs. Once we're in a buzzer section, it'll run through its array. The only other interesting thing is the drum array, which has an extra counter in it, which you can see over there. This is to space out the counts, simply because we have two servos, a left hand side one and a right hand side one. So for example, if the counter is in 1, it'll go to left hand top, 2 will go to left hand bottom, etc, etc. And finally, at the end of the program, we have our interrupts. The first one is the analog to digital interrupt, which looks at the battery voltage. The next one is our interrupt to make sure that the lid is closed. And the final one is a background timer, which runs in the background and runs on an overflow. In conclusion, I am very pleased with the results achieved with this project, and thanks for watching.